Monday, May 6th, has issued a high risk of severe weather, and it is confirmed that it is causing damage. Again, it's this little area right here. If you are in this area north of Parkin, Now, hello everybody, my name is Christian and welcome back to Skycast, and we do have a lot to discuss everywhere from the tropics all the way up to severe weather season. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, right now we are watching a more of a downtick in severe weather, a more calm period, but we still do have a few mesoscale severe weather days, including today, which is currently ongoing. Numerous areas to be watching, anywhere from portions of Connecticut and New Hampshire, all the way down into New Mexico, Northern California and Oregon, and then portions of Montana. We do have an excess slight risk of severe weather, the more higher risk across the western part of Texas, including Fort Stockton, Pecos, Fort Davis, and Carlsbad, New Mexico. This will be a damaging wind and hail potential, but an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. Now, it is going to be rainy for a lot of Texas, and an isolated severe or two is possible, especially across eastern Texas, where we do have some more of these discrete little cells. But right now, the main threat is going to be in the western part of Texas towards New Mexico and areas of like that. And we are going to be watching convection start about 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's going to be where we're highlighting that slight risk area. You can see I've circled areas where we do see that convection start firing on the HRRR model. And if we continue to play this through by 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, things do begin to pick up, and severe warnings will likely end up being issued today, maybe even a severe watch. Definitely take today seriously if you live in there. I know this is a very rural area, but stay weather aware if you live in this area. If one or two of these storms can remain discrete, you know how the HRRR is predicting like a little isolated cell like this pop up, that could be an enhanced tornado potential due to the lack of storm interactions. But this is not going to be a tornado, really a big tornado day. This is going to be mainly for that isolated damaging wind threat and that large hail threat. And it does look to be more of a linear mode. Once again, could see maybe one of those isolated supercells or two pop up, but this does look like it's going to be more of a line of storms, which usually does associate with that damaging wind potential. We get into the nighttime hours towards 8-9 o'clock, and things do begin to diminish. Once again, as I was talking about, we may see an isolated warning or two pop up in that marginal risk as this pushes east. But by the time midnight and on through rolls around, things will begin to continue to diminish as conditions slowly downtrend. So not really looking at anything too large today, but definitely smart in this area and throughout a lot of western and central Texas to remain weather aware this afternoon and into evening and tonight. As we are looking at tomorrow, we do have another low-end severe weather day. Numerous areas to keep an eye out. One through Iowa, Illinois, into portions of the plains. We have another one up here towards the high plains, including Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, areas like that. And then a third one down here towards Texas, areas like Chicago, Des Moines, areas like Billings, Salt Lake City, Houston, Austin. A lot of areas under this severe weather risk. And then thunderstorms from Canada down to Florida. Really going to be an isolated day. Lots of rainy weather. So definitely something to be prepared about. Not really going to be anything too wild, isolated, just maybe strong to severe thunderstorms, including damaging winds and some small hail. So really nothing to be scared of, but definitely take seriously and to be weather aware about. Not really going to be worthy enough to dive into to each little area, but if we do play the runs through the afternoon and evening, you can see lots of areas that do have rainy conditions, especially across the coast into Florida, up here towards the high plains, and then out here towards the Midwest. Those three general areas where we were looking at some of those stronger thunderstorms. But lots of rain, lots of activity throughout the evening, the nighttime hours, and throughout portions of the morning hours. Gonna get really wet tomorrow. May not be a day that some people want to go out to do activities in. We also do have a day 3 outlook where we have two areas of severe weather to watch, one being across central Texas from Mexico all the way out towards near the border of Louisiana, and then another one for a large portion of the Midwest and the plains from Minneapolis, Minnesota, all the way down to portions of Colorado. So a big area of isolated severe thunderstorms with that too. On top of the severe weather risk, look at that general thunderstorm from Montana and Canada all the way out to Florida and to New York. Lots of areas under that potential for rain and isolated thunderstorms. So, well, just like tomorrow, it's going to be a very, very rainy day. Now, while severe weather should remain relatively low, we do have a few mesoscale days that could pop up, especially with the 500 millibar troughing. One is going to be this right here, which may bring some severe weather towards the high plains and portions of the Midwest. Really is not going looking to be too big of a threat with this one, but as we continue it on, two more areas look to be of concern. One is going to be this right here, and then another one is going to be this trough back here towards the west. Once again, not really going to be anything too insanely crazy, but we can't highlight specifics just yet, but these do not look like they're going to be huge weather days, but some robust severe weather would be possible, and we start getting into the 200 plus hours out, so things could change and likely will change. But we do have this big trough coming out of the west and the northwest building up into Canada, and that is where we will highlight some severe weather days towards the middle of the month. Towards this is June 20th. Likely across the Central Plains, the Midwest, and maybe into portions of the Ohio Valley, and that trough really begins to strengthen as you get towards the 22nd. So definitely something to really keep an eye on severe weather wise. Severe weather never ends, but it does end up calming down, and we are in that period where we are getting another calm down before it begins to uptick yet again. Now, I do want to take a moment and discuss Tropics 2. Right now, we have two active storms, one a little bit closer to Mexico, and then another one a little bit further away. Both of these were Hurricane Category 1 status. This one's name is Barbara, and then this one's name is Cosmo, Cosmo, one of the two. I'm not really for sure how to pronounce that. This one does look a lot more intense. You can see those reds and those blacks popping up around the eye, where you do have some stronger winds with that. And right now, it is a tropical storm, borderline hurricane with that. And then this one looks like it'll downgrade to a tropical depression as it continues to move off to the west. We also have another area of development, a low pressure system forecasted to move through, which way be able to have another tropical storm, potentially a hurricane. Within the next 7 days, we do have that high 70% area. So definitely something to keep an eye out with that. And then as we look towards the East Coast, we are in hurricane season for the East Coast, but it's not something that is usually too much of a concern right now. Things won't pick up until we get a few weeks in, and as you can see, that is truthful with this. We don't have anything that we're watching right now. All of it is over towards the Pacific hurricane season. So thank you for choosing Skycast as your go-to weather place. My name is Christian. You can follow me on Facebook and X. Link is in the description. Have a great day. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.